guys, it's Cody from SUPERWISE. Today, we're going to talk about how you can get started in AI governance completely free in 5 minutes or less. So what is SUPERWISE? SUPERWISE is your go-to tool and platform for governance and operations platforms with a control layer that makes AI trustworthy, usable, and secure. Right, guys? That's the biggest question that we get. Do you trust your AI? And frankly, with some of the things that are going on, like for instance, the other day, Grok ran completely crazy, right? People were asking it questions and it was just going off the rails, giving just asinine, wild answers. That does not instill trust for businesses that are deploying AI or AI creators in general that are deploying these agentic AI chatbots that gives you trust, right? So what's really cool about SUPERWISE is that you can set up your own private LLM connected to a very secure data source so you control what the agent is actually accessing. We can also set up guardrails and policies to triple check and double down that everything is where it needs to be. What's really cool about this is that today we are releasing the new starter edition. So it's actually been out for about a week or so now, but you can get started today completely free with no money down. You don't even need a credit card, which is awesome, right? So you get instant runtime guardrails and policies to keep your AI safe. You get real-time visibility to AI decisions, and also you get access to our governance experts via office hours. You can also join our Discord and GitHub communities where you can talk to like-minded creators and AI enthusiasts in a back and forth, fun spirited conversation. Super cool, right? We also have complete documentation. So what that means is that this document library here at docs.superwise.ai is your end-to-end A to Z, your go-to holy grail of everything SUPERWISE. You will have comprehensive guides, tutorials, API references, which will all help you integrate, manage, and scale your AI operations with full confidence, making AI trustworthy again, which is super cool. Now, there is one caveat with the no credit card required. You will need a OpenAI platform account or a premium ChatGPT subscription, and your credit card will need to be inputted into that system. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to head over to platform.openai. You're going to sign in with your premium account. So we're going to hit the gear icon. We're going to go over here to grab our API key. I already have a secret test key created, but it's super easy for you to create your own. So just hit create new secret key, give it a name, hit all, create key, copy and paste that and keep it somewhere safe. That's the hardest part about this entire thing, is getting through the ChatGPT OpenAI side. Now, once you sign up for SUPERWISE, all you'll need to start for free is an email, your name, and a company name. If you don't have a company name, throw something fun or just leave it blank. From there, you'll get a series of emails. You'll have onboarding docs. Again, you'll have links to book calls with our experts. You'll also have links to our documentation library. And you'll also have a link that will send you to the SUPERWISE dashboard. Now that we're logged into our SUPERWISE portal, there's a couple of things you'll see on the main screen. We can jump in creating our chatbots immediately. We can jump in building our beautiful, impactful dashboards. We can set up our policies right away, or we can wander off and go into our demo case where you can do pre-set up demos with synthetic data to kind of see how SUPERWISE works. But again, it's so simple. You guys can just jump right in and just get your hands dirty right away. If you get jammed up at any point in time, like we mentioned previously, you can book a meeting with one of our experts or jump into our document library. And of course, no matter where you are in SUPERWISE, at the bottom left, we always have that document icon there. The first thing that we're going to do is talk about Slack. It does come pre-configured for Slack. So once you connect SUPERWISE to Slack, you can then set up how it alerts. So for instance, we'll just call this demo, and then we'll search for our available demo alerts channel, and then we'll hit done. Now, of course, we already have this set up, but again, in 2 or 3 clicks, you can integrate quickly and easily right into Slack, which is very cool. The next thing we're going to talk about is connecting our knowledge database. So what this basically means is that you can create your own private knowledge source that SUPERWISE will only access. So that is where our trust with SUPERWISE starts. It will not wander off. It will not go off into the Wild West and go pull things from Reddit or Facebook or YouTube or wherever, right? So we control the source of the data. So right off the bat, we have full control on what our AI agents are retrieving. What is the knowledge they're retrieving? You have 2 options. You can do a website or you can do a PDF upload. Which is really cool is that in a couple clicks, we can create this knowledge database. So we'll just call this SUPERWISE website. We'll pop in our SUPERWISE website URL. If I could type today. Whoop. Now, there's a couple of things you can do here. Now, the max depth is the number of levels down it will go. So right now we have it set at 1. So that basically means that it will crawl the main page of superwise.ai. And then when it encounters a link, it'll also click that link and index that information, and it'll stop at that 1 click. So it'll basically go through your entire website structure, and it'll deeply crawl and explore to index all the knowledge database. For this example, we'll just do 1, but feel free to have fun and explore the different ways you can do it. Now from here is where we're going to connect our OpenAI. We'll do text embedding 3. It's super simple. It does exactly what we need to do. And then we'll copy and paste in our OpenAI token, and we'll hit save. So now what SUPERWISE is doing is it's doing the full crawl of that main page. And then it also clicked one link, every available link, and went to that and indexed that. Now we have our full knowledge database created. It's that simple. We already have our private LLM rocking and rolling. How cool is that? So now let's dive into the fun part, creating our agent, right? So from here, your screen will obviously be blank because you haven't created any agents yet, but hey, let's do it. So on the create agent screen, you'll have 2 different options. You can build up the SUPERWISE Studio, which allows you to create chat-based agents very quickly and easily with our studio. And it's completely codeless. Again, I don't have any experience in coding at all. And you can create your agent in a couple clicks. So we'll just give it a name. We'll call it CR and we'll click next. Now there's 3 different options here. We have our basic LLM assistant, our AI assistant retrieval agent, and then we have our advanced agent. So the basic one basically is just no context, no configuration, no tools. It's just a plain Jane direct interface. The AI assistant retrieval is where we can start doing that RAG style chatbot with additional contextual data, right? So that's what we're gonna be doing today. If you guys want, you can jump down to the advanced agent, and then you can integrate multiple tools, contexts, data, and you can enable very complex workflows. But again, today we'll keep her straightforward and just create a AI assistant retrieval agent. Now, as it's just spinning up, you'll see here's the SUPERWISE Studio. Again, you don't need any code. You don't need any experience. It is so simple to use. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to connect our OpenAI. We'll do ChatGPT 4.0, and we'll connect our token. Now, temperature and top P sounds complex, but it's really not. Temperature is just a randomness, right? The lower the value, the more factual. The higher the value, the more imaginative, the more varied, right? And then think about top P as complexity, right? Again, same thing, right? Lower is more concise, higher, it does its thing. So very straightforward. Again, you guys can play with these features, but out of the box right now, 0 and 1 does just perfect. And again, you guys can go back and edit that. So under the studio, you can just hit model and then hit edit, and then you guys are good to go. You can kind of test it. On the right is our chat playground. So as we start doing it, and you may want to change the temperature and top P, like the complexity or the randomness or the factuality of the output, you can play with this in the back end and then tweak it and adjust it as you go. Super straightforward. Now, the prompting gets a little interesting because you can really dive down a rabbit hole with creating super complex PhD level prompts. But with SUPERWISE, you can just be very simple. Like you're talking to your 5-year-old, right? Like go take out the trash, go walk a dog, go clean your room. Very simple directions, right? I want you to act as a customer support agent, answering questions about SUPERWISE in a professional and concise way. That's all we need. Again, we do have a video about prompt engineering, which if you want to dive into that and like the art and the complexity and the full science behind prompt engineering, you're more than welcome. And you can go and build and develop very complex, very fun, deep prompts. And SUPERWISE is there. It'll do it from very simple to very advanced. And that's the beauty about SUPERWISE. It is a developer first platform. So if you guys want to build, put it this way, if you imagine it, you can build it with SUPERWISE, which is really cool. But again, for today's case, we'll just keep it super straightforward and super easy. Context, again, is that knowledge base. So we'll click knowledge, we'll give it a name, SW website. And then of course our knowledge base will be what we created earlier. Boom, our chat bot is up. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our first agentic AI agent. So let's test it. What is SUPERWISE? Boom. So now you'll see they'll start answering based off that specific knowledge base. It will not hallucinate. It will not wander off the reservation and just start pulling random stuff from the internet, right? It'll only use the information that we give it. So now we have a trustworthy answer that we know works. Now, the question that we always get is, well, what about like people using, like negative language or toxic language, or they're just using very foul language. I don't want that either being inputted, or I don't want SUPERWISE to have that on the output. Great question. So from there, what we can do is do guardrails, right? So why is AI governance so shitty to get started? Now, without any guardrails, SUPERWISE will allow that input and it will do the output, but we don't want that to happen, right? And it still will answer according to our prompt as a customer service agent in a professional and concise way. But again, I want to eliminate people using false or toxic language. So all I'm going to do is hit guardrails. I'm going to hit rule. I'm going to hit input. Just going to call this TX for now. So now you can see SUPERWISE block that. It will not allow bad information or toxic language to come in. But again, if I remove that word, and we'll do so hard. Now I adjusted my prompt or adjusted my question. And again, it will be within the toxicity level that we have set, which is 0.05, or just right in the middle, right? Very, very normal, reasonable, respectful conversation. All good. Now, I always recommend doing input and output. That way, people can't do crazy prompts and try and get SUPERWISE to answer in a not so nice way, right? So now you're protected on the users inputting the question or saying, hey, I want SUPERWISE to answer using foul language. So now you're blocked. Now you're protected on the input and on the output. Boom, done. The other question we get is like, well, what if I have like my website, right? I have all this information on there, but I want this agent to be deployed specifically on, let's say, the AI governance and operation page. I don't want it to dive down, what is machine learning? I don't want it to go down that path. So right now, we don't have any guardrails for this. So right now, it'll answer any question, and if the knowledge is there, it will respond. So obviously we have a lot of content on our website about machine learning, so it will answer about that. But I don't want anything machine learning related in my chatbot. So I'm going to add another rule, and I'm going to restrict the topic on the input. So let's call this ML. The topic would be machine learning. I'll hit enter, ML ops, just to be safe. Hit enter. Again, we're going to do an LLM in an LLM, which is super cool. It's like that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, right? A dream within a dream. So what we're basically doing is we're basically having a couple different LLMs in play under the hood of my Agentic AI. Again, with no, hold on, I copied my key wrong. One sec. So yeah, so now this is basically a multi-LLM, multi-agent under that one. So now if I ask about, what is machine learning, we now will see that SUPERWISE will not answer that question, which is super cool. And then again, we'll do the same thing, right? We have the input, so we'll also need restricted on the output just to be safe. Again, the topic would be machine learning. Enter, ML ops, call it a day. Boom. And we'll do again, provider, OpenAI, model 4.0, API key, done. Now in a matter of minutes, we have 4 different guardrails for input and output for toxicity and restricted topics. And we have deployed our chatbot by clicking publish. And we'll just give it a name, CRV1, hit save, and we're good to go. So now SUPERWISE is publishing our agent. And all we have to do in the top right is click embed agent, click iframe, hit copy, and now I can go put that on my AI governance page. Now I have a chatbot that will only talk about SUPERWISE AI governance and operations in a safe and trustworthy way. I mean, how cool is that? Now, the next question we get is about policies and all that fun stuff. Now from here, we're going to click policies on the left. So guys, let's create our first policy. Again, this is where we can set up the guardrail notifications, right? Super simple, very straightforward. So we're going to do CR chat. The aggregation will be count. Again, you guys can play with this. This is where I suggest that you guys jump on with one of our experts, right? So there's a lot of information here. There's a lot of policies you can create. You can also go to our documentation library. But again, it's not hard to create the guardrail violation policy. So again, it'll be CR chat or whatever you named it. Count, guardrail is violated, operator is true. And then we also want to have it run, let's just say every 10 minutes. From here, we'll click run. So as it's doing that, we'll go down here and we'll say, hey, I want you to update this policy status to unhealthy when it is above 1. And of course, you could dive into moving averages and all that fun stuff, but we don't need to do that. So then the destination will obviously be that demo alert policy. And then again, we'll hit run again because I did update the bottom here, the condition. So now it'll rock and roll, which is super cool. So now we have a chart visualization of if our guardrails are violated in that CR agentic chat, and then just hit create. It's that simple. Oh, and one more thing. If you guys ever make a mistake in SUPERWISE, the UI UX is very intuitive. So obviously in this case, I forgot my name, and then I'll hit create again, and now we're good to go. So it's very easy to use, very simple. With the documentation, you guys should be able to get through it. But again, if you have any issues or you run into any type of roadblocks, or if you have any questions, or you just want to know, what else can SUPERWISE do? Again, jump on one of our calls with one of our experts, and they'll get you squared away. Now, the last thing we're going to dive into today is the dashboard. So we can create easy to view dashboards. We'll just call this bad boy CR. Now from here, we're going to add a widget. Our data set again will be that CR chat. The field that we're going to be going after today is going to be our guardrails. So we can just search, guardrails violated? And then we're going to filter that bad boy down. And then again, we're going to do, is guardrail violated? Is true. And then we're going to change raw data to statistics. And we're going to run it. And my fault. I'm just going to say count. We need the count, right? So we want the number, the count would be the number of times that it was violated, right? So then we'll hit run one more time just to make sure that we're good to go. It looks like we got her done. Hit save. So again, it's very intuitive. Oh, there we go again. Forgot the name. I always do that. So now look, now we have in a matter of minutes, we've created an AI agent. We've added guardrails onto it. We've created our policies and we've had a dashboard. So now we're all set. So guys, like I told you, super, super simple. Anyone can do it. If I can do it, you guys will get through this even faster. We'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email, leave a comment below. If you found this very useful, please like, subscribe, and comment. And remember, you guys can get started today completely free. No credit card, no money down, no obligation. So any questions, jump on with one of our experts, shoot us an email. But we have a saying here at SUPERWISE. We love to say, get shit done. So we look forward to seeing how you guys get shit done, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.